Lorna Scott here. Today I'd like to talk about conscious caregiving. I became a family caregiver about 10 years ago. That's what I thought anyway. I really was a secondary caregiver for my dad and am a caregiver at a distance for my mom right now, but my most intense experience was with my husband after he was diagnosed with cancer. We had a few ups and downs along the way and sadly he passed away in 2011. The key thing is that I found some ways that we could have a wonderful life, even when our retirement life was condensed into 3 years. And I also discovered some of the things that I didn't do that caused some problems for me. So I want to share that with you and why I think conscious caregiving is the way to go. What this means is that we choose each day on how we are going to be. I know as a family caregiver the days are unpredictable. Some days are good, some days are not so good. Some days you think you have everything planned out and it just totally goes upside down, just like a hurricane hits. That's what I felt like. So in the middle of the hurricane, how can you still find some peace and calm? And how can you live with what is? And that was one of the things that I learned through the passion test, and when it helped me discover the 5 most important things to me at the time that Callum had cancer and we found out that he was terminal. The passion test taught me to accept that it is what it is. I couldn't change his diagnosis. I couldn't change his treatment or what was happening with him. He was in control of that and he made those decisions. I could change how I coped with it. And I could change how he could enjoy the rest of the life and the rest of the life that we had together. This is where I started conscious caregiving. And what I learned and what we lived, and that is the most important thing, is this is something you can live every day and you can wake up to be excited about what your day is going to be like and what you are going to experience that day, and have some tools in place in case it doesn't go that way. And you can go to bed at night feeling satisfied and fulfilled that you've done the very best with whatever the day handed you. It is what it is. Conscious caregiving means deciding how that day's going to go. And I might have mentioned that before, but this is about deciding how the day's going to go. You wake up, you know what your intention is for the day, and that intention is basically another word for a focused plan. So your intention for the day may be to have peace. That might be what it is. Your intention for the day may be to clean out a closet. Your intention for the day may be to have a good conversation with a doctor. Your intention for the day may be to be surrounded by friends. It depends what your day is, what's happening that day, what your intention is, but you are clear about what it is that you want to have happen that day. That sets in motion a whole pile of energy that just conspires to make it happen. You have to believe it, and this takes a while and some practice, and that's okay. The other part about conscious caregiving is getting clear. How do you know what to put, what to plan for the day? Well, the thing is that you want some clarity. You want to know what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what in the past has brought you joy. One of the workshop participants that I've worked with decided after attending one of my workshops and talking about this, one of the things that brought her joy was music. And she brought out an instrument and decided to start playing. She hadn't played for 20 years and she's so excited because she's secretly practicing and is going to perform for her family. And it has brought her great joy to be able to do that. And she had the instrument, she had the time that she could do it secretly, and she's going to have a fabulous experience, and her family's just going to be so surprised. And if it wasn't for the conscious caregiving part, she wouldn't have even thought to do that. I mean, some people have big dreams, and there's important things. One of Callum's big dreams that I helped support him in was to introduce our children to his grandmother and other family who were, lived in another country. So we planned, and we decided that that's what we were going to do. And once we just made that decision, There were some hiccups along the way, and we weren't sure sometimes if it was really going to work out, but we just kept forging forward, and things fell into place, and we were able to do that, and it was a fabulous experience, created some really meaningful memories for all of us, and it was by getting clarity on what was important and getting rid of the things that maybe we just focused on day after day, but really weren't as important as getting to those areas. The other part about conscious caregiving gives you the time to look at your whole health. So you can look at your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your mental health. You can start to plan. Maybe it's planning ahead for meals or having somebody help you, bringing in meals. Can be paying attention, helping you pay attention that you're drinking enough water, that you're getting enough nutrients through raw foods, and feeding your body for so that you've got the energy to get through your caregiving time. And your emotional health, it's taking the time and getting the clarity on what helps you get through some of the emotional obstacles, what raises your emotional energy so that you have joy and happiness. And laughter is a great thing. You can look into laughter yoga. And and I know a laughter yoga coach, so if you want to do that, that would be awesome. I can hook you up really easy. She does things through Skype, so it doesn't matter where you live. I can hook you up with her, and just getting 10 or 15 minutes of laughter in a day can just change your emotional energy. Your spiritual energy, whether it's you are a Christian and you go to church, or you believe in something different, whether you go to a mosque or a temple, doesn't matter. If that is something that is maybe missing from your life, having that conscious caregiving modality or thoughts starts to give you an idea of what might help you feel better spiritually. When you can put these things into place, the mental, the emotional, spiritual, and physical health, and you consciously create what that is for you, and make it reasonable, and make it attainable, and make it so that you are excited about doing it. And well, I'm not always excited about exercise, but I feel so much better after. So I know that there's something at the end line, and that propels me to look after myself. The reason this is so important is because it's your health. I didn't do this, and it cost me greatly. I gave in to the whims. When Callum wanted to eat certain things, I just ate it. I didn't necessarily always look after what it was that I needed to have and what would fuel my body to be able to continue to look after him. Even exercise, we brought a treadmill, we brought it into the house, and there were days I was so overwhelmed and exhausted. I was working and caregiving, and just the worry of what was happening in our life would overtake me, and it would be too hard to figure out where my shoes were and what t-shirt to wear, and do I listen to music or am I watching TV, and is it going to disturb Callum? And sometimes I just threw my hands up in the air and said, yeah, whatever, not doing it. I'll do it tomorrow. And it never happened. I didn't have somebody to kind of push me along the way to support me in getting these things put in place. And, the effects that happened for me were pretty drastic at the end. And when my caregiving time ended, and I ended up cracking a tooth. And what happened is that as I was getting this tooth fixed, which, by the way, cost me almost $2,000, I found out that I had 3 other cracked teeth. I had been to the dentist the year before, and I had no cracked teeth. So the effects, those cumulative effects of the stress, that stress just kept on me and on me and on me, and I didn't deal with it very well. And that's what ended up happening. So really, to fix my teeth, and I've been just gingerly, taking care of them as best as I can, and thankfully they've, managed to hang on for me, and I'm not having any problems. If I wanted to get them all fixed, it's going to be another $7,000 or $8,000 for me, and that is a huge impact of not having conscious caregiving in my life, to that part of my life and looking after me. I was consciously creating for Callum and for what he wanted to do, and I forgot about me. So these are just some really simple, easy to do things that can be done every day. They don't cost you any money, and yet they're so important and will really give you that fuel. They'll give you the perspective, they'll give you the energy, they'll give you some joy and peace so that you can continue as the caregiver and not feel like you're going to run out the door. This is a really such wonderful information and made such a difference in the lives of the people I've worked with already. So I just wanted to share it today and hope that you've got a couple of tips you can use. And if you're watching this at anywhere but the caregiverslighthouse.com/blog, please head on over there right now and check out the other blogs that are full of information for you. And I hope you have peace, hope, and joy in every day, and happy consciously creating.